He turned his victims into hamburgers, sold them to people, and people just ate them.
I feel like we're going to get like serial killers come after us now because we've been calling them all worms.
You know the truth, and after this, we'll both know the truth.
Yep.
And if you're guilty, coming in here is the most stupid thing you've done in your entire life.
It was hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
I literally felt sick.
Obviously, I'll be innocent because I'm never going to kill anyone. If I'm in this situation and I'm innocent, right, I am fucking saying no comment till I'm blue in the face and I'm waiting for legal representation.
Yeah.
Logan Paul,
Yeah.
if you want some, I'll give it you.
The most prolific killer of all time. Guys, welcome back to the Allegedly, Possibly, Maybe podcast. Today we've got another special for you. Today, it's very true crime. It's the serial killer special. We're going to be taking a look at the Netflix documentary, American Murder, The Family Next Door, which centers around the Chris Watts case. I don't know if you're familiar with that case, but it's a dark one. It takes many, many twists and turns, and we're going to be discussing it today, as well as a load of other serial killers. And interestingly, actual confession interrogations themselves, because there are officers out there that are trained to get confessions, but sometimes they push for confessions from people that are actually innocent. So it's going to be a very interesting conversation. But boys, you join me once again, Lozzie, Jimmy, and Dan, and we are here to give our opinions on these matters, on these people, and we're obviously going to start with the Chris Watts. I'm Jonathan Ross today. The Chris Watts documentary. Have we all seen it, first of all? Yes. Excellent. So I think we should probably go through it like chronologically and our thoughts as the documentary kind of goes along. Aside from the documentary, a lot of the footage is also on YouTube. So, for example, at the beginning of the documentary, you kind of presented with the police officer being called to the property. And if you wanted to, and I do suggest that you do after this podcast, go and watch the police camera footage of him sweeping the property and stuff, and how just unbelievably on edge and sus Chris Watts was throughout, especially once you know that he killed his whole family. Just seeing it in hindsight is something else. But yeah, what were your guys' sort of like thoughts on the police sweep?
I thought it was, they were pretty much just going through run-of-the-mill things, just doing what you'd usually do. But like you said, I think the officers picked up very, very quickly that it was a bit sus. It was a bit suspicious.
I think in that kind of scenario, there's probably the partner's got to be prime suspect, surely.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they kind of sort of made him believe that he'd kind of got away with it to sort of get more? Was they being like really clever about that? Because I was watching it and I was like, it seemed like they was being a bit stupid, but then obviously
so they
were like sort of they just let him talk. And he kind of, because he pretty much gave most of it away himself, didn't he, by his body language and
100%. The fact that he was just glued to his phone the whole time, showed no emotion.
And like even on like some of the news things, because he'd like spoke on the news, and he was talking about his family and like past
as if they're dead when they were still missing at the time.
And it was like
it
was really very strange.
And even at like right at the start, when obviously the neighbours called the police because they hadn't seen Shannon all day, and the police arrived, and then they got Chris to turn up, and he went through the garage door.
Yeah.
Didn't let the police follow him in, and then he was in the house for 2-3 minutes by himself before he opened the front door, which just seems very suspicious. Because let's pretend that he didn't do anything, right? And you're coming back, and you've just been informed that your partner and your 2 children are missing, and the police are there to help and try and, get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're hesitating in allowing the police officer to come in, maybe ascertain certain clues as to where she's gone, blah, blah, blah. So that in itself, I think, from the get-go, he fucked it from the get-go, basically, just with those few moments of hesitation.
Yeah.
But like by them like allowing him to just sort of talk.
Yeah.
Because if they'd have gone in and been like, right, we're going to arrest you because it seems suspicious.
Yeah.
He might have just not spoke about anything.
Locked up.
But like they kind of just let him go, and he was kind of just giving everything away when in his interviews, which I thought was either really smart by the police or whether they were just
I thought the police did well, like not to let him off the hook and make they didn't try and mollycoddle him by saying obviously your children are missing, your wife's missing. That he didn't flat out accuse him either, so kept him on a very fine edge, and he like you're just saying, he just gave everything away.
Yeah. One thing that was really smart, I can't remember if it, because in my mind, because I knew the Chris Watts case and stuff before the documentary, so I might be mixing previous knowledge with the documentary, but I know for certain it's in the police footage because that's where I saw it. The police officer pretends to call in backup, which obviously, if you're innocent, the more the merrier, police to find you. And he's just looking down at his walkie-talkie or whatever, calling in backup, pretending to, but the camera is fixed on Chris, who is just staring down at his phone. And the moment the police officer mentions backup, Chris just flares up and stares at the police officer, then kind of realises, oh fuck, I probably shouldn't react like that, and then comes back down to his phone. And it's just little tricks like that just expose Chris from the get-go.
And what's the moment where I don't think he realises that his neighbour's got a camera on the road.
Yeah.
And
his
when
face,
you see his thingy, and he's like, oh, what was you doing there? And he's just stuttering all his words. And he's just you can just see straight away. He's like, oh, what? Fuck.
Yeah. And he's not even looking at the screen either. He's just staring at his phone the whole time when he's in his neighbour's house, to the point that the neighbour is he is acting really fucking weird.
That's the thing, isn't it? With him, the whole thing, bearing in mind, know what he's done, and he knows what he's done at that time. It's all an act. So there's no natural reaction for any of that process.
Yeah.
So he's just thinking, how would I react here? And trying to act like it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing's natural.
No.
There's no natural occurrences throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's exactly what sociopaths and psychopaths do, because they can't tap into natural emotion. They try and portray what they believe they should be doing in that moment, and you can just see that that's exactly what he's doing. But it's just absolutely fascinating to have on both the police footage and the Facebook videos and stuff, to have so much fleshed out footage and background information about both the victim and the killer in a documentary. I mean, we'll just quickly switch over to the Facebook videos and stuff for a moment, because that was quite eerie. Because I don't want to be misconstrued as insensitive or disrespectful or anything, but what I'm trying to get across is the videos of Shannon, because there's so much of her talking about life and all these sort of things that actually kind of link in a way to her death and stuff. It was really eerie that she played, for want of a better term, such a prominent character in a documentary about her own death. I've never seen anything like that before. It's always the victim spoke about in third past tense, and you don't really see much footage or whatever. You certainly don't see, almost a person communicating with the audience in real time. It was very, very unique in that sense.
I felt like they kind of made her out to be like a bit of a Facebook mum. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know,
I'll be like, again, no disrespect to that. There were elements in some of those videos. She came across as a bit of a bitch.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and
she just did.
I think the way that they told the story in that documentary, like there was times when I was watching it and I was like, fucking hell, she's a bit of a bitch, and it's like, you know, she just wasn't in real life. She's actually like just a loving mum who just you can see she just wants her husband to love her
100%.
And because he's not showing her love, she's posting stuff up online to get attention. She's just an attention seeker because she's not getting it from her husband.
100%.
And it's like that, but
she definitely
people
loved
who
him,
don't
without a doubt.
People who don't understand that, she comes across as looking like a bit of a...
There were questionable moments in some of them videos that I didn't quite agree with, but ultimately I think it's just kind of almost a fact of life now. I feel like the people that try to post as much as they possibly can about their relationship, make it look all hunky-dory, they're the ones whose relationships are fucked because you're trying so hard to push this narrative to the outside world for validation. It's kind of to mask what's really going on. But like I said, there were certain videos that I did think were questionable. For example, the Christmas one where Chris was dressed up as Father Christmas. Now, bearing in mind, this is a video that's gone on Facebook to all of their family and friends. And I think Chris left his phone on the car in the garage, which she wanted to take pictures of the kids. And she was a bit arsey about it, wasn't she? And she had a go at him. I thought it was a bit odd that she then posted that on Facebook. You'd think you'd go and sort the phone situation out, then start filming again. Yeah. So that I feel like, although they posted a lot of stuff to make it look hunky-dory, there were definitely cracks in the relationship that you could see going on, some of which was a bit questionable, but obviously nothing justifies what happened. But yeah, just going back to my original point, it was mad to see all this like background footage of her life. And
was a lot of that, was that actually posted on Facebook, or because in the documentary it's not like, it's kind of the way the editor's done it makes it looks like the videos are posted up on Facebook, but I didn't know whether they actually were.
I mean, to be fair, it might not have been. And
because like I say, they might have gone down that narrative of like, oh, let's... But I felt like they pushed her down the thing of like being a bit of a Karen. Do you know what I mean? And it's 100%. Like...
They definitely had a narrative because from an editing perspective, obviously they got her friend's conversation up and they were sharing it. And that's just a personal conversation with a friend. Like the stuff you say to your friend... it's not going out to the whole nation. So they're just chatting. But they're making it fit.
I can just imagine 100%. A lot of guys were watching that going like, oh fucking hell, like not that she deserved it, but like the way that they pushed it out on Netflix, it was like, I can imagine it would anger a lot of like,
most definitely. Most definitely, because they did twist it a bit to
and when it's about you know, she's the person who's fucking
she's
been
the
murdered.
because
I watched a lady do like a 10-minute version of what happened. And like I watched it, I was listening to it on the way up here, and it like brought like a bit of a tear to my eye, to be honest with you, watching that. But then watching the actual Netflix thing, I don't know, like my emotions were just all over the place. It's
like, an emotional rollercoaster.
Yeah, it was like, obviously I was upset for obviously the children, but like when I watched the Netflix one, when I was watching it with her, it was like, I don't know, you don't know it, like, because you don't know the way they've portrayed it to seem as if like she's angered him to do this. Whereas I don't think that that's what happened. You know, the geezer was obviously pretty fucked up.
Oh, without a doubt, and like, without a doubt, which we'll get to.
Yeah, so I don't know why they tried to. I
guess they want to make it fit a story.
Yeah,
some sort of like, but it's fucking fucked up, innit?
Yeah, and also I think having access to a lot of the videos and stuff, because I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on the Chris Watts case, and it's never had that angle. So perhaps the documentary was like, fuck, we can have this unique angle where actually we want to make the audience think that maybe she pushed him to it, blah blah blah. But so maybe that is what
maybe
they
where
were going
obviously
for.
like that sort of fuels sort of discussion.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah, of
So,
course it does.
So
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
of
having
course it
you
does.
know they want to divide people to sort of have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
True. Yeah.
That fuels
Which is-
discussion,
yeah.
and then that's what gets the
I
views. I mean,
personally-
clever, but
with the stuff with the kids, obviously none of you got kids, but I've got kids, and I think maybe parents watching it, it was hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
I literally
Yeah.
felt sick.
yeah,
Like I physically felt sick watching
Yeah.
and all the start of it, because I'd heard about the case and kind of knew what happened. But yeah, I found it's an emotional rollercoaster. I felt sick, then angry, like with him,
Yeah.
like just want to,
yeah.
like you just think he just needs to.
Yeah, because I
go.
was watching it and I was thinking
Thinking-
about
yeah.
you, because obviously you've got two little
Yeah,
girls, and I mean one of you've got same
Same name. Yeah,
It's like,
I felt
Really?
sick watching it,
Yeah.
like literally sick, and then angry, and then there was some good there's some interesting bits within the documentary towards the end. I like the way that the police interrogated him,
yeah,
and I thought it was very clever. The way the lead detective and then the lie detector woman,
yeah.
the way they were planting seeds.
Yeah, 100%. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
now, because that chronologically, that is how obviously we had the police investigation. The police sweep the house. He was very suspect. He went on TV, did a few bits on the news and that, and then obviously he was brought in for questioning, and that is when, like you say, the interrogation took over.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
yeah.
There's a 6-hour version on YouTube that
Yeah.
you can watch. I've watched some of it, and it starts off with him going in the room, and they're so nice to him. They're like, "Oh, how you doing? Like, sit down." And then it slowly progresses, because they obviously had a lot more information than they let on, so
Yeah.
they knew stuff about him, and they were trying to. I think they wanted a confession out of him, and it's interesting how they got to that. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, because they obviously they offer him a polygraph test, don't they?
Yeah,
And when he's in there, she's like, obviously, you know the truth, and
Yeah.
after this, we'll both know the truth.
yeah.
And if you're guilty, coming in here is the most stupid thing you've done in your entire life, and that just like setting that kind of tone on him
Yeah.
was absolutely brilliant.
Even if he was innocent, I reckon.
That would shit you up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I reckon that she would have come in at the exact same
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And called his bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She was
yeah.
very clever.
Yeah.
She was like super
Yeah,
clever.
because I would have
Yeah.
been like, so are these 100%? Do they always come in 100%? Like,
Yeah.
And then if she was like, oh, you know, they're like 80% right,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, I would have played that card. So
Yeah.
then if it did come
100%.
back, then you'd be like, well, 20% of people. So that
Yeah.
it could have been that. Whereas he
And
was
plus,
just-
a polygraph test can't actually be used as evidence in
No.
a court of law, because
Yeah.
there is that level. But I think it just kind of shits people up into a confession almost.
He wouldn't break though.
Yeah.
So she kept bringing up the information. Like she was like, "We've done that. You failed."
Yeah, because he was also like breathing weird, wasn't he, to kind of throw off.
Yeah. Everything about him was
yeah.
weird. Like he had a picture of his girls in front of him. He never cried once.
Yeah.
And they were like, they kept referring to the picture, your girls.
Yeah.
And then I think at one point he said, "I watched a video of them this morning," but it's like you would be in hysterics. You'd be
Yes,
crying
of
your eyes
course.
out. But yeah, I think for him, he's like a pathological liar. Just lied about everything, and all he was trying to do is like self-preservation.
Without doubt.
he was not smart enough.
No, he
to-
wasn't-
To
that's-
get out
he
of
wasn't
that
smart.
situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there was, soon as he'd got arrested,
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah,
like,
he was fucked.
Yeah, you were fucked.
But she knew, and the lead detective, he wasn't just going to confess. He kept denying it. He kept
Yeah.
lying. So like they planted the seed that his wife may have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that bit I thought that was brilliant. And then so she planted that seed. She's like, look, this could have happened. This scenario.
Did she?
could have
Yeah, I
done
think
it.
didn't she say? Did she hurt the
Did
kids?
she hurt them? And
Yeah.
and she's like, that's happened before.
Yeah.
You're the dad. I can see you trying to protect.
Yeah.
And she kept bigging him up.
Yeah.
And then the lead detective guy kept saying, your dad's out here. He's here for you. No matter what, he's going to be there. The rest of your life is there. Like he's outside, just supporting you, whatever happens. And then they both go out the room.
Yeah, and
bring
leave
his
the
dad in.
cameras on.
Yeah, and just leave
Do
it
you-
rolling.
when the dad was there,
Yeah.
I kind of felt like the dad already knew.
He knew. He knew some stuff. I don't think he knew.
'Cause the
He
when he
wasn't
told
exactly
him-
shocked.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if my son told me that, first of all, you'd be like crying that you've lost your 2 grandchildren. You wouldn't
Yeah.
just be like, oh no, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
you'd be like mortified, wouldn't you, that you've obviously lost your grandkids.
Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know, it was all a bit strange.
Yeah.
I don't think he
and
knew
each-
about the grandkids personally, but I think he knew, because the way they were talking, he was like whispering, like, and it was very hush hush. I think he knew something was going on.
And then, of course, obviously, then he tried to pin it on her, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which didn't last very long at all. But yeah, it was the integration of the father was a very good move as well, because it's
brilliant.
Like it's a familiar person to
and they know
confide
that
in.
they know, and that's what they're both planted to see. It was like good cop, bad cop, and they're like, okay, we're going to go out now. We'll leave you with this, and then the dad comes in, and they're like, anything you want to, tell your dad. And they know that he's not thinking, oh, the cameras are rolling. Yeah, he's just like, I've got an out. I can say she did it. They'll believe that, because they know he's a liar. Yeah. All he wants to do is not go to prison or just get away with whatever he can. Yeah.
Again, going back to how like smart I think he was, I thought that when the detective woman said, maybe that the wife had done it, and then he'd like done it as like a revenge thing. I feel like that's the first time he even thought about it.
A
little thing went off in his head and was like, oh, I didn't fucking think of that.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that out.
Yeah.
And it was like,
he was dumb.
Yeah,
like, he was a dumb fuck.
He was, because
horrible cunt.
But the thing is, with the he really was, but with,
accurate,
or is, but with that out though, that's where all of the Facebook posts and stuff really backs her, because in what fucking world is she going to kill her own kids? There's just no reality where you could see her killing her own kids. So that narrative just didn't rub. So I feel like they gave him a shit good narrative to try and run with. Do you know what I mean? One that wouldn't hold up, but one that in a case of desperation he would cling to.
Yeah.
And yeah,
he took the bait.
Yeah, he did. And then, but it all fell apart, because obviously, he was like, yeah, she killed them, so then I killed her. So then you disposed of the bodies.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go, I had to stop my wife. I called the police when I had to physically stop my wife from killing my children. And in a crime of passion, I killed my wife.
Yeah.
So here are the bodies. Instead, you go and drive miles to dispose of them in like oil tanks and stuff.
Yeah. He just wasn't smart though, was he?
He wasn't.
Just wasn't.
Nah.
Like, even going back to him, like, I didn't see anything on there of his friends. Like, there was nothing about, like, maybe they just didn't want to talk about it, but he just seemed like a bit of a loner.
Yeah.
Sort of just do as his wife told him.
Yeah.
And then maybe he just sort of had enough of that. Not with the kid when he murdered. I'm just saying, like, obviously he ended up getting with someone else. Didn't he?
She was also expecting a child, wasn't she? As well, which makes it.
She kind of like maybe.
Even worse.
I wouldn't say she pushed him away, because I feel like he was sort of looking for an out anyway. But like he ended up having an affair with that other lady, and then it seemed like she controlled him as well. So it just felt like he didn't have. Usually, if there's something going on at home, you've got your mates, you can talk to people and stuff. But he just felt like he'd gone from her to like someone even worse, really. Allegedly, I'm not.
The thing about it, that got me as well.
I just felt, the woman that he got with, she seemed a bit, fucking sketchy as well. But
and then she obviously, sold him down the river the moment that she found out about what had happened, which is, understandable. But obviously, then it all came out as to what actually went down. Well, we'll talk about what the documentary says went down. And then we'll go on to a website. Basically, my girlfriend Maya informed me of this, which absolutely shocked me. Chris Watts has seen the documentary, and he's pissed off that they haven't portrayed what went down correctly. So he's not satisfied with how Netflix have told the world that he killed his kids. And I have to say, it's fucking worse than the documentary, but we'll get to that in a second. But obviously the documentary, after, they say, let's face it, it's not her, and then he eventually confesses, basically he drugged and strangled the wife, didn't he? And he strangled his 2 daughters, and then put them in the back of his truck at like 5 a.m, and then went and buried the wife out in the foliage bit, and then put the daughters in the oil tank.
In the documentary, it says that
there was no
he
drugs.
he strangled his. It didn't mention drugs. He strangled his wife and put her in the back of the car, and then he put the children in the car and then drove them to that place. But they were just in the back of the car. I think he said they were sleeping, which when I saw that bit, I was like, no, because at one point he said one of the daughters came in and saw what happened, and I was like, no way, your daughter's not going to sleep. They're like 5. They're not going to sleep. They've just seen this happen. They're worried about their mom. They're not just going to go back and sit and sleep in the back of the car for an hour or however long. So that to me just didn't make any sense. And also I was thinking, what's his best case scenario? Even if he got away with it, he's killed. Yeah, he's killed his wife. He's killed his 2 children. Like, it's fucked, man. Like, how can you live with that? Go, like, you've got and where he put them in a fucking tanker, and it's like there's just no for me. There's no good scenario.
It's baffling. Like because like you say, best case scenario, he gets away with it. There will still be so many people that are like a bit like. The McCann situation, right? Allegedly, possibly, maybe, all that, and I'm not saying anything positively or I'm not confirming anything. But obviously, there is the question above the McCann's heads: did they do it, right? And that has always been over their head, right? I'm not saying that they have. I'm just saying that's a question that a lot of people have. If he got away with killing his family, regardless of that question would still always be over his head, regardless of whether he could live with it or not, because unfortunately I think that he could.
He could, because he's a fucking lunatic,
but
isn't he? Yeah.
There's no happy best case scenario, because also his new mistress, what's she going to think? Like, oh, where's your family?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was all over the news that they're dead. It's a bit suspicious.
I don't put him down as like a fucking... like one of them serial killers. Like, most of them are like quite smart. Like, do you know what I mean? I just put him down to being so stupid and just like doing actions without even thinking about what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like
it's just being
it wasn't
so devoid of emotion.
He hasn't planned anything out.
Not,
Smart people would plan something out and he's just kind of doing it and then making shit up as he's going along.
I think they did say it was especially we talked about, it is premeditated.
Yeah.
I think that's why he released later down the line.
I mean, I feel like he thought about it, but what I'm saying is I don't feel like he'd like planned it out. I feel like he's not. That's what I mean. He's trying to like I said, he wasn't happy with how they portrayed how he mate, you're not on that level of serial killer. You're just a basic bitch serial killer. That's how you're going to go down. You're going to go down as one.
But they don't even call him that.
Yeah, you're one of the dumbest. You're one of the dumbest killers.
If you kill your family,
definition,
it's a different word.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw. Oh fuck. What is it?
Yeah.
It's.
You're not classed as a serial.
I'm not joking. I think it's something like. Because I saw it when I was doing some research. I actually think it's called it's like cereal, but you put fam at the front. I think it's a familial killer. I think that's what they're called. Because by definition, that's it, familicide. It's a familicide, like a genocide, but familicide of your family. Yeah, by definition, I think a serial killer, you have to kill more than three or more people. So he technically does fall into that category, but because it's his family, like you say, it's a bit different. It's not like he just went out and killed people, different people. But the other thing is, the thing that got me from the get-go, you got a new woman, you're not happy in your marriage, just fucking leave.
Just leave.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Just leave.
Don't kill anyone. Yeah. Have a, she might turn like a bit psycho or whatever. Just have, a bit of an angry ex for a few years until maybe she moves on and doesn't give a fuck anymore. You don't have to fucking kill your whole family.
That's why he's so stupid.
Yeah.
He's just fucking going to the worst point ever, isn't it?
Because she moved miles away, didn't she?
To stay with her parents for like 2 months. Which would have
happened if they... Do you think... Because I was thinking about this, like, why not... I was like, why just not leave? Like, I was trying to think of a scenario where you wouldn't leave. And it's like, the only thing I can think of is he thought about the money, maybe, that he'd have to pay. Yeah. Because there's no other reason.
Yeah.
Just leave.
I think they were in slight financial strife, which again, on this this site I'm going to get up in a bit. It's basically he had a pen pal who wrote a book about everything because he confessed to loads of stuff and that, and so all the information's on there. But yeah, that was what got me. But I think we'll pull that up now. Actually, can you just Ben? Can you just get up the Chris Watts? Here we go. Right. So one of the things is the Netflix documentary does not touch on the Watts financial situation.
Okay.
According to court records, Shannon Watts and Chris Watts had filed for bankruptcy in 2015, 3 years before Chris committed the crimes. At the time of filing, Chris was the family's main source of income, bringing in $63,000, their joint $91,000 income. They purchased a £400,000 home, so they had roughly $70,000 debt. So maybe that had a little factor. Although this may be considered a potential motive in the case, their situation appeared to have changed somewhat in 2018 when Shannon started a new job and she actually overtook him as the most paid in the household. You know, it could have been a jealousy thing. You never know with these.
He was
people.
A little bitch boy.
He's pathetic, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The geezer's
So
just
pathetic.
yeah.
Right, so Netflix film doesn't explore Chris's psyche too much, but a pen pal named Sherilyn Cadle compiled and published his letters to her from jail in the 2019 book Letters from Christopher, The Tragic Confessions of the Watts Family Murders. In one, he reveals the murders were premeditated, writing of Shannon's death, all the weeks of me thinking about killing her, and now I was faced with it, and of tucking in his daughters the night before the murders, I walked away and said, that's the last time I'm going to be tucking my babies. He confesses that he attempted to smother his daughters in their beds before he murdered their mother, but they woke back up, bruised and disorientated, and he instead drove them alive to the site where he buried their mother, smothered them again, and shoved their lifeless bodies through a small opening in the oil tank. So what makes it worse is he essentially killed his children twice.
Oh, just fucking kill him. Can't we get a petition to just fucking kill this
I know.
cunt?
I know.
Like, why is he alive? Like,
I know. He took a plea deal that included missing the...
makes me angry.
Yeah, missing the... taking
That's
the death
why
penalty out.
I don't want to like. I don't even want to give him anything. Like,
Just kill him.
I just want to
fucking
like. He's he's not clever. He's not smart. He's
He's
the
pathetic.
stupidest, most pathetic
little.
person.
The next paragraph, it's not much better. Watts also appeared to confirm that his motive was related to his affair in his letters, writing of strangling Shannon. I knew if I took my hands off of her, she would still keep me from Nikki. He also revealed that he had previously drugged his pregnant wife with oxycodone in an attempt to cause a miscarriage. I thought it would be easier to be with Nicole if Shannon wasn't pregnant, he wrote. It's just not...
Oh, he's just...
Well, even
fucking-
so, there's the video, isn't there, where the reveal,
Yeah.
where like
She
what
brings
is
it in.
She
and it's so
wears
fake, isn't it?
the
Yeah.
oops, I've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
it again or something.
Yeah.
Ruined that song for me. Used to love that. And like he comes in and you can just tell by his reaction on the video that he's just like,
Fuck.
Oh, he's just a little worm, isn't he? Gonna get a petition going to kill him. Just like bring back the death penalty. Like it's just.
I think it's still going in America.
It's just like.
Yeah. Can you have... No, because I guess it was a plea deal, so you can't have that overturned, can you? I don't know.
If there's anyone inside in it, just.
The thing is that...
pen in
Yeah,
his
but the
eye.
thing is, people that kill kids...
Have you got any
and-
pen podders?
Yeah.
The people that kill kids and stuff, they don't tend to last too long in
Nah.
prison. So...
I'm still absolutely astonished. There was no at no point did he ask for any legal advice.
Yeah, he just kind of wrote it out himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is going to tie in to what we're going to be talking about after the break, because I do want to go into the whole confession interrogation stuff. But before we do go to that break, fucking Chris Watts, what a piece of
Fuck
shit.
that
Yeah.
cunt.
Like-
Dumb as well, just a little worm.
Yeah.
That's all.
That, I think that's the
Just a
best.
little
That's the
worm,
best
mate.
word
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
describe him.
Yeah.
As
Little
just
worm.
a little worm.
Little worm,
Yeah.
mate.
And that is all he'll be remembered
Maggot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Scum.
What a wanker. Right, guys, we're going to go to a break. We're gonna chill down, and then we'll be back with some confession interrogation techniques and what we think of them. Okay, see you after the break. Guys, we're back in this serial killer special, but we're going to divert slightly from serial killers for this next bit. It's something that really intrigues me. I've been watching confession tapes on Netflix, and it's all about innocent people going to prison because of the way that these investigators, the ones that I've watched are specifically in America, but I know it does happen here as well, they're trained to get a confession. Now, obviously, if it's, for example, from earlier, in the case of Chris Watts, that's excellent because you're getting a confession from someone that's guilty. However, they push and push and push people that are innocent, and it does sometimes come across like they're just trying to fill a quota from time to time. And on this confession tape, I'll give a very quick example. It's an hour episode. I'm now going to condense it down to like 30 seconds. But basically, there is an auntie and uncle who own a farm, and the nephew is brought in because apparently he was arguing for a few days about it's a family farm, finances, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look like he's going to inherit anything. Then the auntie and uncle are murdered in a robbery. So obviously, prime suspect, bring in the nephew. They interrogate the nephew for hours and hours and hours, and they're like, if you just tell us what we want, we'll let you go. So he does, and he tells them, but as he's telling them, the investigator is like, so you entered the house, didn't you, and you took the money that was on the side? And he's like, yeah, I did. And then you went up to so he's literally guiding him through what happened, and then he confesses. And the weirdest bit, which doesn't help at all, bearing in mind this guy would turn out to be innocent, was he then goes, yeah, it's not funny, but my cousin was there with me as well. So this poor bastard who's just lost his aunt and uncle is then dragged in as well, and he's put into prison for it as well. And they never got a confession out of him, but they got a confession out of the first one, which was like really pushed, really pressured. Completely unrelated to them, they were doing some DNA testing and stuff on cars and stuff, and they found DNA in this car of a pair of a young lady and a guy, I think 17 and 19. They'd robbed a car, and so once they were found and arrested, they did swabs of the car, and they found the DNA of the auntie and uncle, and these two weren't even from the same state, right? And very quickly they confessed to the killings, right? Quality. But the police, because there was no evidence whatsoever linking the two nephews to this crime, the police then put the pictures of the nephews in front of the girl who was involved, and were like, so where did these two come into it? And she's like, I swear to God, I've never seen this guy before in my life. And they were so desperate to have these two guys in prison. They were like getting livid, like, you're fucking lying to us, you're wasting our fucking time, all this sort of stuff. And then after a while, just to get them to go away, the girl said, okay, yeah, they were there. And then she felt so bad that a few days later, she then redacted that. And anyway, to cut a long story short, the two nephews were released, right? The craziest bit for me, because they were then given, I think the youngest nephew was given like $900 and something thousand in compensation, and the one who confessed was given like $1.4 million in compensation. The detective that got the false accusation, the false confession, and was really pushing for this girl to incriminate these two innocent lads. At the end of the documentary, they were interviewing him, and he was fucking livid. He was like, I know it was them two, and they're now in their mansions with their $1 million each, and when they should be in prison, blah, blah, blah. When there was never any evidence or anything, it was purely pride that pushed him to accuse them after the two actual culprits come forward. Okay. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? And it's terrifying. Yeah. And if I'm ever in that situation, obviously I'll be innocent because I'm never going to kill anyone. See this in 10 years' time on Twitter, like, he said it. But no, but I'm telling you now, even if I'm in this situation and I'm innocent, right, I am fucking saying no comment till I'm blue in the face, and I'm waiting for legal representation. Because they almost like, we said it with the Chris Watts case that, you know, they're very nice and stuff when they start. They almost like befriend you and then start twisting everything you're saying. And even as an innocent person, you're better to kind of look a bit shady and just be like, no comment until my solicitor gets in, no comment. Yeah. It's absolutely baffling to me. It really is.
With that one though, when you just said that about the compensation, maybe there was something going on there where it was like, you know, you're going to get some good compensation. I'm going to falsely accuse you.
We're going to send you down.
Set you up for life,
We're going to
lads.
split it 50-50. I'm going to make a mill, and then I'm just going to stay with the thing to the rest of till I die.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's completely plausible.
Who's ever thought about that?
That's
He's
detective
cracked
now.
the case.
That's
A crime within a crime.
Yeah.
Deception.
That's it.
Do you think sometimes these, like the lead investigator, they believe it so much that, you know, because say you that's your job and you do 100 cases and you're like, God, I've caught 100 people and we've interrogated them and they've come forward and they've said yes, but it takes them 8 hours to break. And then sometimes they get someone they think, I know he's done it, and they just keep pushing them and they believe. But actually
It's
they're
totally
wrong.
plausible.
They're actually wrong because sometimes they can be wrong.
But they're so good at their job.
They're so
they
good
know
that
how
they're
to
just
like manipulate.
right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like say that Chris Watson, for instance, like they were so good at getting the confession out of him.
Yeah.
And think really like he's guilty, so once he says, he admits, like that's it, it's done, it's all over. Like they're that good. They're literally within 8 hours they're gonna say, we're gonna make you throw the rest of your life away.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So like even an innocent person, you know, the techniques.
That baffles me. Like how, so I don't know if it's the mentality of the people or the level of intelligence. Maybe I have no idea. But the idea of someone that has not killed someone is, sorry, that's the Bulmers, has been accused. Other ciders are available. has been
Always
accused.
on the fucking sponsor train.
Has been accused wrongly. I don't give a fuck what you're going to say to me for 15 hours. I understand that will be exhausting, but I'm not going to turn around and be like, all right, yeah, it was me, please just shut the fuck up. That just doesn't register. I don't understand.
I think what they do is it's a slow process of like, you know, like because they teach you in sales and stuff, they say get a yes, then get another yes, and then get another yes, and then like when you go for the close at the end, you've already got 3 yeses. So like it's a slow process of just bringing you around a little bit, and then before you know it, you're fucking in, and they're like, well, we've got you now, we've got you on that, so you've just got to say, confess a little bit more to this, and then you'll be let go and it's done. And false promises.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all in one go, and they just go.
No.
They just twist you, and you get 15 hours in interrogation.
Yeah. I guess.
But I know what you mean. It depends on the severity of the subject, because and how strong or weak the person is.
Most definitely. I think that's a massive factor. And also thinking about it, potentially the way that they could twist it is make you feel helpless. So be like, look, we know you've done this, regardless of whether you confess. You're going to fucking prison for the rest of your life.
What they
so
do.
if you confess to this, we will get you a sweet
Just
which is shit.
And they do that's actually weird, isn't it? Within the law.
Yeah. How is that legal?
If you say I did do it, you're gonna get 10 years less or whatever.
Yeah. Just for being
and they're
good
like,
enough to confess.
if you don't say it, you're fucking going down for life. Because what's that famous boxer that they offered him a plea deal? I can't remember his name. But there's a guy who was in. It's a famous story. I think.
Benja's Google that.
Yeah,
some
there's a film about it with
Google famous
Denzel
boxer.
Washington. The hurricane. The hurricane. That's it. And he just will not break. And he's like, no. He's like, I did not do it. And he just will not break. And they offered him a plea deal and everything. And he just said no. He just kept with it. But he ended up spending most.
I think it all depends whether you've done it or not. Like. You know, if you haven't done it,
I'm coming at it from you haven't done it.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
but still, if someone's saying right, you're going down anyway.
I would, as long as I knew that I hadn't done it, stick me in prison. I'll be a savage. Like if you know you haven't done it, then you know, at least you've got like a clear conscience.
If someone,
to be.
but if someone's like, look, you'll do 5 years if you say you did it, or you're going to do 25 years.
I'll do 25.
See, I would.
No, I would do 25. I'd be like, put me in there.
I know most people say
principle.
that, but I think like.
No, I would fight it.
Yeah,
I would fight it.
Because if you're innocent, you're innocent.
The
moment that you confess, it's game over.
But if they say guaranteed, you do 5 years now. I know. Yeah.
I'm too stubborn. I would
also,
rather walk out 25 years later and be like, I still just want to let you all know I didn't do it.
Yeah. And also you've got in that 5-year period. Say you're stuck with us, not you, but you could have had 5 years. You've got that kind of 5-year free period, if you like, for there to be that piece of evidence that turns up that exonerates you.
Yeah.
And if that does turn up,
compensation.
yes, mate.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm quite stubborn, but I just
it's very terrible. Like my biggest.
If I knew I hadn't done it, I'd actually be like, want to go away for a couple of years just so I could get the old compensation.
You're like,
I'd keep playing them. I'd be like, maybe I did it, maybe I didn't. I can't really remember.
Jimmy, we've got the evidence of free. It's like, whoa, hold off.
Hold on.
The evidence comes back and like I get my dad to like bring the evidence 3 years in.
Give it 2 more months, mate.
Yeah, I'm like, Dad, come on. Yeah, we'll get a bigger payout. I wonder if anyone's ever done that actually.
Probably.
So how long? Yeah, Reuben Carter was the
prisoners.
guy.
Professional prisoner. That's fucking hell. Don't fucking arrest me, guys. That's all I'm saying.
You're
in for a big
You
payout.
might lose more than you might gain.
Oh man.
How long did he serve?
20 years. About almost 20 years in prison for something he didn't do.
How much did he get paid?
How much
did he get paid?
Was he proven innocent, or was he just used there for 20 years, released?
It's a good film. Have you seen The Hurricane?
No, I haven't. No.
Quality
Reuben
film.
Carter.
Yeah. You seen it last?
Yeah.
It's
Quality film.
Yeah.
By the way, this is
Do you like
such a strange place to plug, but it's because you've just talked about a boxer. I definitely do want to do like a late night pay-per-view. We're sat here commentating on the boxing.
Oh, I thought you was going to say like
okay.
a YouTube boxing match.
No.
I thought you was going to be like,
that's dead
I'm
and
ready.
buried.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
that
Anthony
Logan
Joshua
Paul.
Yeah.
If you want some, I'll give it you.
That's it. But yeah, no. Back to serial killers. Yeah.
Change a bit from the first half.
The confession. Like, it's fascinating. The techniques that they use, and when it's applied to the right people, it's absolutely excellent. I've watched so many on YouTube. They're all over YouTube, just full unedited confession tapes or confession interrogation.
I feel like
techniques.
you're warming up for something.
yeah.
Here's my confession tape.
Yeah. No,
they're not going to get me.
That's it. I know all the loopholes. But yeah, no. So they're
But it's being able to resist yourself from watching Usher Confessions that comes up at number one.
Yeah.
To get into the rest.
Yeah. Fuck's sake. What a track.
Just put that in everyone's mind.
Yeah. Oh man.
I know you're singing it now. Right?
Yeah, in my head. I'm trying not to hum it. Don't want to get copyright struck on YouTube.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's confession tapes. Yeah. What do you guys? So overall, like, what do you guys think? Is it like? From a moralistic point of view, bearing in mind it's used on innocent people, but is it like for the greater good in the long run?
The greater good.
Yeah, I'm with that.
That's it. You with that?
I'm with. Yeah, use it. Use it. Use it. Yeah, okay.
Fuck it. Big tick.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you've got to, haven't you?
Yeah. At the end of the day, to be honest, to now kind of undermine everything I've just said. If you've got half a brain, just wait for your fucking legal representation.
Yeah.
Then you should be fine.
Yeah. You need your legal rep, don't you?
Yeah.
You just.
Well, even if I think people just think, oh, I'm innocent, so there's no way that they're gonna think as me, so I'll just talk to them, and then they just twist it, and the next thing you know,
I was always taught in the underworld, just no comment.
Yeah.
Just no comment until we've got like.
Anyone sign up to the Eggy Bandits?
I was then going to say that was the Eggy Bandits mantra. No comment.
On the induction, we're like, look, if you ever get caught, these just say no comment.
No.
Do you know
First rule
Eggy
of Eggy
Bandits?
Bandits?
No comment.
Yeah.
We're no yoke.
That's it. Oh, dude.
When you see the cops scramble.
Oh, you better watch out or you're going to get poached.
Oh, mate. No. Oh, God.
Oh,
we ruined it. Right, anyway, serial killers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, Ted Bundy's next. So, I thought we'd delve into two serial killers in this second half. So we've got Ted Bundy and we've got Joe Methany. Before we dive into Ted Bundy, what's your knowledge of him? Do you know like much of what he's
I watched
done?
the film.
Is
Yeah,
that
I
the
mean,
film with Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Quite like
Yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
watched like a
Thought
proper
it-
documentary on it as well.
Yeah, I did as well.
And I'm not sure in the film they didn't really glaze over like one of the last killings that he done was like I know it was someone who was
Was it
very young.
Young
wasn't it?
girl,
And
yeah,
it's like-
12-year-old.
Was it?
I think
yeah,
so. Ben,
like a really
back me up.
young.
Yeah,
Check
if that website that I pulled up, which is
yeah, they
biography.com.
missed that out, didn't
Yeah.
they? In the
Well, they took it more from a legal stance, didn't they? From like the court cases and things like that.
just put last murder.
Yeah, but interestingly, one thing that I read on his biography website there was that they never actually knew who his father was, and
Yeah,
there were rumours that his grandfather was in fact his father. So his mum's father.
Fucking film in the Matrix. Hold on. So his granddad
molested his
your
mum and resulted in him.
Okay.
Sounds about right. To be
granddad.
fair, doesn't it? That's why
The-
it'd
the
be a bit
outcome.
screwed up.
Do you believe in nature or nurture? Do you think you're born evil, or do you think it's
Again, like we just discussed on the other one about the gene, I feel like
Oh yes, yeah.
I feel like people have, people do have that killer
Killer gene.
gene, but
Yeah.
then then nature or nurture comes into it as well.
It's there under the surface, but it's if you unlock it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
I
do
think it's
feel-
more nurture than nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I do agree. You can but you can have like a
Isn't
kid.
it,
just
but isn't
from-
it weird that there's certain traits like torturing animals
Yeah.
and things like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
from a
yeah,
young
yeah,
age?
yeah.
Apparently, watching pornography is another one.
That's fun.
So on
No,
board.
I'm
So
not
on
having
board
that.
with the with
Look
the,
how many
the
hits the
animals.
fucking porn
Yeah.
hub and other ones get.
I thought he was going to be. Look how many hits I've
No,
got.
but like watching porn.
Red sheet.
Watching
Yeah.
porn
yeah,
to.
yeah. Could you just Google the
Can you get a Pornhub, please?
Can you get a porn hub just for a 5-minute interval?
the traits
Can
of
I
a
phone?
serial killer or a psychopath? Same thing, really, pretty much.
That's a weird search in
Telltale
Pornhub, that is.
signs, red flags.
Don't say porn.
Here we go. Smooth talking but insecure. Some specific traits of serial killers determined through the years of profiling include smooth talking but insecure. Ted Bundy had a perfect man. ... Egocentric and grandiose. Lack of remorse or guilt. Lack of empathy. Shallow emotions. Impulsive. Poor behaviour controls. Need for excitement. That's interesting. How can you have a need for excitement
Pretty
if
much
you
me.
if you have no emotions?
What I don't get with Ted Bundy
Impulsive.
is that they.
It's
a
not
lot
the
of-
podcast.
A lot, of the, a lot of the women were like, "Oh, he's like,
Really handsome.
yeah, really handsome." And
Smooth
they got
talker.
who's the guy they got to play him?
Zac Efron.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
not that guy on the screen, is it? Let's
I
face
know,
it.
yeah.
No, he was though. He was
Oh, is he?
a bit of a catch.
Really?
Not the guy on the left. That's
No, but in the
Ed-
middle,
Ed
yeah,
Kemper.
no,
yeah.
He looks like fucking Ant from Ant and Dec. He's got a
I can see
big
it.
forehead, isn't
I
he?
can see it. But
Yeah, no,
maybe
he's-
maybe
yeah.
he's just a bit suave.
He's not the worst.
Had that way about him.
He's got a big forehead.
But
He
I
was,
would
he was
say,
very charismatic, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
50p.
Yeah, incredibly.
Honestly, you could get look at where his eyes and his nose and mouth is. You could move that up into his forehead, and you could have. There's enough space up there.
for another face.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy that everyone's obsessed with?
Two face.
It's fine slagging him off. He was a piece of shit. So
Yeah, I know, yeah.
it's,
It's all right. You get a
Who was
free-
who? Sorry?
Mate, he loved the yellow
Right,
roll
that
neck,
one.
didn't he?
Yeah.
The other serial killer that loads of women are obsessed with. he used to kill
Charles
animals.
Manson.
Not Charles Manson.
No,
He used to
yeah.
kill
Hey,
animals.
people
There's
was
a
obsessed with him, haven't they?
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
He killed men, didn't he? He's,
Animals. But they do like hen do's and stuff like around his killing ground and stuff. Yeah, I watched it.
What?
Yeah, really
What?
weird.
They do. What?
There's a whole Dahmer thing going on.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Must have been hung.
Jimmy, man. But
Love the contrast in the first half.
I meant for his death. I meant
right.
Clearly.
Play on words.
Yeah.
Love it.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Genius. Yeah, Ted Bundy. There was a lot of around that film. There was a lot of controversy because he was played by Zac Efron and stuff. But if you, like you say, they did say he was very attractive, very charismatic and stuff. So I don't think it was disrespectful, because they were like, oh, it's disrespectful to the victims. And so I'm not being funny. If women said he was very attractive and charismatic and stuff, and then you had one of the ugliest actors in Hollywood play him, I think that's disrespectful, because it's like you're trying to say that they fell madly for, do you see what I mean?
I get that.
But what can we just get up, Ben, how many victims he had, etc.? I know that he evaded capture.
Yes,
a few times.
The story was crazy, wasn't it?
He bolted out of the window of a courtroom.
And then the jail cell, he starved himself, didn't he, to get through a tiny little gap.
Yeah.
He escaped twice, didn't he?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Drove a Beetle.
Drove a Beetle. Rocked a yellow mustard polo.
That's what that was all. It was all to do with finding the Beetle, wasn't it? Like with his murder.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That was the key.
Is it like an orange beetle? How the fuck can you find that?
It was very distinct.
I think it was like hippie time, California. Loads of them.
So his victim. So Bundy confessed to killing 36 young women.
Hell, I didn't know
across several states in the 1970s. But experts believe the final tally may be closer to 100 or more.
God.
The exact number of women Bundy killed will never be known. His killings usually followed a gruesome pattern. He often raped his victims before beating them to death. While there is some debate as to when Bundy started killing, most sources say that he began his murderous rampage around 1974. Around this time, many women in the Seattle area and the nearby Oregon went missing. Stories circulated about some of the victims last being seen in the company of a young, dark-haired man known as Ted. He often lured his victims into his car by pretending to be injured and asking for their help. Their kindness proved to be a fatal mistake.
Yeah, I do remember reading up that he wanted to be, was it a lawyer or something?
Yeah.
And he was basically he was a failed lawyer. And he just started like lying to people, saying that he was, I think he got a job somewhere, and then that's how he started like being able to like manipulate.
Because he represented himself, didn't he?
And that's like in court. With his,
he did, which is mad. And what the judge said when he sentenced him, he was like, "You are so bright, you could have been so brilliant. Instead, you've wasted your life."
And he was like, he would use that to sort of manipulate the women
12
and
victims.
See,
it's drill it down. It's just another worm.
Yeah. They all are.
Like, I know they the films. The glamour. He's just another cunt. Isn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, they all are, aren't they? But what at the end of that film? It's fucking brilliant when he confesses to his wife. The other side of the glass. He breathes on the glass, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what he marks out in the glass. It's like decapitate or something like that. Because the last he killed her with a hatchet or whatever it was.
Yeah, she was with him, but he never harmed her.
Yeah, and so she always gave him the benefit of the doubt, didn't really quite believe it until right at the end when he confessed. And it's like, whoa.
But she must have known something. Like, if he's, I'm off.
But how odd that he didn't kill her, though. To have killed potentially over 100 women, but not her.
But maybe it was more like he just did it for like alibi reasons, or not the fact. As like,
solid, ground.
Nothing to do with he liked her.
Similar to Michael Jackson with Macaulay Culkin. It's like, won't touch that one because they'll believe that one. That's another conspiracy. But I'm just saying, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Allegedly, possibly, maybe. But that is.
Leave one.
Yeah, leave one.
Yeah. No, it does make sense.
The most believable one.
Yeah,
and,
it does make sense. But
allegedly,
Home Alone, great movie.
Yeah,
it's just
Richie Rich.
Yeah, oh dear, that's it. Great, another great movie.
Didn't know he had a psychology college degree either.
Did he?
Ted Bundy, not Macaulay.
Macaulay.
So we've got some quick facts. So apparently, this is according to the website, he loved knives since the age of 3. He had a psychology college degree. He admitted to killing 36 women. May have killed more than 100, and he decapitated 12 of them.
When I just saw that then, I didn't know that. That's fucked up.
That quote at the bottom.
Yeah, so a quote from him, "I don't feel guilty for anything. I feel sorry for people who feel guilt." That is just grade A psychopath.
See, with him, I think he thinks he was like better than everyone.
Is he a bit of a hipster?
He was a bit like, look,
He's a serial killer.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I'm gonna defend myself. Like, I just think he thought that he was a bit special.
Yeah, maybe like he knew to the extent of
He's
how
a hipster,
fucked he
isn't he?
was, so he just wanted to make the most of it, which I think a lot of these serial killers do. I think they're like, right, I've been caught, so I need a mad narrative, I need a mad motive, I need a crazy way of, that I've killed people, so that I'll be remembered, so that I'll get a cool name, so that there'll be books about me, movies about me.
Please don't call me
the
the worm.
Yeah, the worm.
Just call them all the worm.
That's the thing. They should give them shit names.
Name. This is what I was
They
talking to
should.
you about this earlier. They should give them shit names.
Yeah. Diggler.
I knew I'd get Pokemon in it somehow.
That's it.
Ted Bundy, aka Diggler.
Yeah, aka fucking Weedle.
Bellsprout.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, fucking absolute piece of shit, without a doubt. But you can't lie. It's a fascinating story. Like after the murders, with the whole, wasn't it like the court was in having a break? And so he had to make a phone call or something. And because he had a good relationship with one of the clerks or some shit,
that's it,
he managed to get in a room by himself and then just jumped out of a fucking 3-story window.
It was on the run, wasn't he?
Because the thing is, he go up to he went into like the hills, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was, like living.
Yeah, for ages.
And like he come back down, didn't he, to get arrested?
Yeah, because he couldn't hack it.
Because he couldn't hack it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see.
Worm, a proper worm would have fucking survived.
Yes,
Wasn't even a worm.
Mate, he should have got his
that's
Brian
actually an
Mears
insult.
survival book.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't. He couldn't.
Couldn't hack it.
He
wasn't a man. None of them are men. They're just little worms.
He was just
aren't
up in the woods and he was thinking, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I can't survive up here.
Get me back to prison.
Yeah.
They've got fucking bears and everything up there.
Yeah.
And then, he just bottled it back down.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan of Ted.
That's it. And he he protested his innocence, didn't he, all the way up till like he was sentenced to death.
Yeah.
And I think there was an interview a couple of weeks before he was set to die. He gave an interview and kind of just spilled the beans on what happened to this interviewer.
I feel like we're going to get like serial killers come after us now because we've been calling them all worms.
We challenge you.
Wake them up a bit.
You call me a worm.
Yeah.
I meant snake.
Yeah.
I was only talking about Ted. Ted's my idol.
Oh God. Oh dear. Yeah, that's Ted. That's Ted Bundy. That is 1946 to 1989. Piece of shit. It's just kind of a running theme for the serial killers. Speaking of pieces of shit, we've got one more for you. Joe Methany. Now, Joe Methany is quite a specimen. He has a cool serial killer name. The human hamburger killer. Can you guess what he did? He turned his victims into hamburgers, sold them to people, and people just ate them.
Nice.
Which is absolutely crazy. Can you bring that up, please?
Has anyone-
Little info page?
Ever mentioned how good the hamburgers are? Because I do like a hamburger.
Well, he said he never got complaints. No one ever noticed. What he used to do was he would mix them. Because apparently human... does anyone know what human meat apparently tastes like?
Not
I did watch your little clip because we talked about this yesterday and you said about you did a video.
Yeah.
So I watched your video and then, about the chicken.
Yeah. So I thought it was chicken.
But it's not.
Apparently, it's pork.
Pork.
Which... so basically, in the first half of the video, I'm like, oh, it's chicken. Apparently it tastes like chicken. And then in the second half, I read and it says it's pork. But the amount of comments I got that were like... It's fucking pork. It's like, whoa there. Why are you so
Incriminating yourself.
confident
Yeah.
as to the taste of human flesh? FBI, can we get on that guy's IP address, please? But yeah, so Joe Methany, very large, imposing character. Methany turned to murder after discovering his wife, who had left him and taken their young son with her, was smoking crack under a nearby bridge close to their home in Baltimore. So what he did, when he discovered this, he went over to said bridge to try and find his wife and child, and they were nowhere to be seen. But two homeless men who apparently engaged in smoking crack with his wife were there. So he full on like under a massive rage, killed them. Like one of them, he bludgeoned to death with a metal pipe. Like there was nothing left of his head. Like they were just gone. And then in order to dispose of the bodies, he would cut them up, and then he had a meat van, and he would basically mix the meat in with his existing meat. But and because the pork tastes similar, and he'd like mix them in with the beef and pork, and it would just mask it. And then he moved on to killing like prostitutes and women of the night.
But had the guys that he did initially kill smoked crack with his
apparently,
wife?
Apparently so. Yeah.
See, I mean, if someone had done that with,
I don't think they got her on it. I think she was already a crackhead.
Yeah, she was already a crackhead. Yeah, and she went down there. He was
I'd
looking for them, but because
it depends how the story. Like if it turns out that because some of they get them on it, and then they get them addicted, and then obviously, if that was the case.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, he was separated from his wife. He was separated from his wife and actually lost custody of his son in a legal battle. Okay. And then she met someone new, and I think he got her onto crack, and then they ended up homeless, and then were living under a bridge with the boy, and then he went after them, couldn't find her or her son, but was in such a rage, these two homeless guys that were in amongst it, he just fucking beat them to death.
So you can look at that two ways. You can look at him like a crazy murderer, or like a loving father that he just wants to find his son.
I think either way he's a killer.
Yeah. He's definitely.
And the fact he's obviously, I think they said 7 people, didn't it? So he's done it another 5 times.
Yeah, I mean after that, but
because he was arrested for the murder of those two, but was released on lack of evidence. So after being released on lack of evidence, he then went on to kill more, because apparently he got a bit of a taste for it.
Yeah,
because wasn't there was
figuratively.
There was 3 3 of them that he killed, and he took the police down to the river to show them where he put them in, but they couldn't find the bodies again. Yeah, because they've only proven 2, haven't they? The 7 that he killed.
Yeah, but it's just mad.
But he looks
his method
scary as. There's that one picture where
he does.
He looks scary.
He looks like a Newcastle fan, doesn't he?
The northeast is fucking raging.
No, he does though, doesn't he? When the fans were in the ground, they always turn to that geezer. Mike Ashley's brother. No, they always turn to that one geezer in the crowd.
I don't know. I mean, I lived in Newcastle and I never saw anyone like him.
They do, don't they?
Shout out to Newcastle. I'm trying to save Newcastle.
Trying to save our fan base.
Newcastle viewers.
Oh my God.
We just lost 20 subscribers.
We love Alan Shearer.
That's it. But it was absolutely quite a specimen of a man. But he, like I said, fed a lot of the victims to innocent people who inadvertently became cannibals without even knowing. But once he'd been like captured and arrested and sent down, apparently he said something along the lines of
"Why, man?
Mate Ashley Oakley.
He's a fucking prick, man."
No, he said just sowing in a seed of doubt. It was basically like, next time you go to like a food van or something like that, just you never know, you could be eating someone else, and it's like, you're just like tarnished roadside food vans for everyone for the rest of life. But he was quite the artist as well. He liked to draw.
I was just about to get onto that.
He liked to draw.
Have you seen his artwork?
Yeah,
so
it's
crazy.
Buy it. Yeah, I know.
I almost bought some. But
did you?
It's $185. But it had a note as well. He'd write out a load of stuff.
No way.
But I mean,
what do the funds go to?
Yeah, I was going to say.
How many pegs it? You never know.
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It
if you
is,
start buying that stuff, then it's a
Where does it end?
It's a fucking
Yeah, in a couple of years' time when we do a nostalgia episode on all of the serial killer memorabilia.
Do you remember serial killer Dan? He used to be on the podcast.
He started buying that nostalgia. Just started doing his own.
Yeah. Oh man.
He's currently in prison doing drawings.
That's mad.
Some of his drawings are they're all right.
I've seen the one. It's in the video that we did. It's like this Pope or vicar has got like his dick through a cross.
Yeah,
and
saw
the
that
quote
one, yeah.
is like blah blah priest blah blah coming for Jesus, and it's just semen all over the fucking
I'm
shop.
trying to get one up here.
But he's quite a character.
That's some weird hand sign.
Yeah, that's right. Very niche as well.
So there's one here, and it's got a little boy with a pencil. It's got a devil's hand coming out of the ground, grabbing a skull, and then a naked woman with her legs spread, and like a cloud with an axe going into the woman.
There we go.
Fuck knows what he's thinking when he's drawing that.
The thing is, though, you say, is it collectible? I think it would be, like, to the right person. I think that there's definitely an audience out there of collectors for that sort of shit.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that was the.
Do you reckon you could print it on a t-shirt?
Fuck it.
Oh, what, you get the rights?
That's the picture you mean. Scroll up, but that one. Look how overbearing he is. That
scary
motherfucker. APMA merch.
Yeah,
quite cool.
APMA Joe Methany collab.
He's a scary.
Jesus. Joking. I'm fucking joking. Remember, even though it's 2020, we can laugh at things.
Yes.
Okay.
But I can imagine him just smashing the shit out of someone.
Oh mate,
Like,
yeah, just give him a fucking metal pole
At the Sports Direct.
and a mincer. yeah.
He's got massive roll-ups on his jeans as well.
Look at that, yeah.
Some Elvis roll-ups going on.
Dear oh dear.
Scary man.
He is terrifying. And yeah, not a very well-known serial killer. But then he didn't kill that many people, did he?
I think it's more to his name.
Joe Methany.
Yeah.
Methany just
Methany.
doesn't. It's not catchy, is it?
It's not.
And he's
It's
got.
not.
Has he got? Oh, he's got his name in it.
Yeah.
The worm free.
The worm, the thick worm. THICC.
Yeah, I think he's got one of the best nicknames,
Yeah.
hasn't he?
Yeah, the human hamburger killer. Oof. Nice. He does exactly what he says on the tin. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he definitely killed the other people?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so personally. But yeah, that is Joe Methany. Right. One last thing I want to do before we wrap up today. I just want to see the most prolific killer of all time. So straight away, it is up and it is in front of me. Apparently, the most prolific serial killer of all time was Colombia's Louis Garavito, who was known as La Bestia, also known as the Beast. He apparently killed 100, convicted of 138 people, but it is thought that he killed between 172 and 300 plus. Apparently, he targeted homeless or orphaned boys, used disguises, money, and candy to lure his victims. He is currently in prison, right, for a 2,600-year sentence. But apparently it is possible for him to be released in 10 to 20 years due to maximum sentence laws and cooperation with the police.
What the fuck?
That's ridiculous, isn't it? That is.
So we're going to give you 2,600 years,
But
you might get in 10.
Yeah, that's
What?
absolute. That's an absolute joke. But I do need to give mention to Pedro Lopez, who is number 2. I've done a video on Pedro Lopez. He's again from Colombia, and the scariest thing about Pedro Lopez, the monster of the Andes, who was convicted of 110 people and may well have killed 300 plus. So he could technically also be the number 1. So he targeted young girls, proud markets searching for a look of innocence and beauty. But he was released after serving 20 years, and no one knows where he is. Pedro Lopez could be listening to this podcast right now.
Right, I think there's
one of the most prolific killers of all time is alive and out there.
So Colombia, right? Sort your fucking sentences out.
Yeah,
like if someone's murdered 300 people,
yeah,
and you're going 20 years and you get out,
That's ridiculous, isn't
I
it?
mean, you just go there. It's
He
like,
served his time.
it's a haven for
It's unreal. It's
a
unreal.
haven for
You thought
serial
they
killers.
peaked with Pablo Escobar. Fucking Pedro
I
Lopez.
know where I'm not going on holiday.
Colombia. Fucking
You'd
right.
see that monobrow coming from anyway. Wouldn't you?
So what if you do
He's still out there.
what 5 or 10 murders?
Fucking bring it, Pedro.
Probation, 10-month probation.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. Oh,
you've
you only killed 4? Fucking
Yeah.
wasting our time. Yeah,
We're going to caution you.
yeah.
Do not do it again.
Yeah,
You're taking a
please.
fucking piss.
yeah.
If I ever
9
seen him, I'd be like,
pussy.
oh, is that the beast? Oh, no, he hasn't killed enough.
Where's number 3 from? Is it? He can't be Colombia.
He looks like a librarian.
Pakistan, Javed Iqbal. Targeted street children, dissolved bodies in acid to cover up crimes, confessed via letter to a newspaper. Yeah, imagine if the top 3. But number 5's Colombia.
Oh my God! How many has he got? 72.
72,
Could
100,
be
possibly
180.
180. Daniel Camargo Barbosa. But we've got Pakistan and Russia thrown into the top
Top
5.
five. Top 5. You got 780.
I mean, Colombia have got a good
people.
front three, haven't they?
Fucking
It's almost as good as Liverpool.
Garavito, Lopez and Barbosa up top.
Barbosa, what did he get? Is he free?
Who, sorry?
Killed in jail by a nephew of one of his victims. Okay, good.
Who's that, sorry?
Number 5, Barbosa.
Oh, Barbosa.
Yeah, he's dead.
Barbosa, Lopez and Garavito.
That's mad.
They do sound like
Yeah, it does sound like a good fucking
Top
ultimate
three.
team. to be
Russia
honest
number
with
4, Mikhail Popkov, the werewolf, used his police uniform to trick female victims he believed to be immoral, motivated by suspicions that his wife committed adultery. Where did he get the werewolf from? That's what I want to know. But can we just have a look at number 10? I don't know why, it's just a nice number, isn't it?
It's a weird motivation, isn't it?
And Natalie on a
Mate, do you reckon he only killed on a full moon?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
His wife committed adultery, so he's just going to go and kill a load of other
Women that he deems immoral. Very strange. Very, very strange. But this list is... Cool, I'm really testing my eyesight now. Smartadvocate.com. So if you guys want to have a look, I think it's a top 100 list. Go and have a little browse of the top 100, or it might be 50, world's most prolific serial killers.
They all look ropey, don't they?
They all look...
Number 8.
Look at number 9. Look
number-
at number 9. Andre Chikatilo.
Right, scroll down quickly on
The
and see
Red
if
Ripper.
Is there any don't look like murderers?
Any
all
that
of them.
I don't,
Murderers,
Willie
murderers.
Willie Picton doesn't look like a murderer.
Fucking hell. He looks like someone out of Wrong Turn.
He does, yeah, yeah.
does.
He is
Fucking
proper
hell.
wrong turn. Mark Wahlberg next to Willie Picton.
Oh dear. I mean, there's safe to say there are some characters.
Gary. I've not that many serial killers called Gary, aren't there?
Gary Ridgway. Glenady. Oh, Soviet Union. I thought that was a real strange name.
Louis Walsh.
Or like Rodney from Only Fools and Horses.
I thought that as well.
Oh, there's a Vera on there. Vera the Black Widow. Poisoned male lovers and husbands with arsenic. Kept her victims in unburied zinc-lined coffins. She confessed she liked to sit in her armchair among them, surrounded by all of her former lovers. And she killed 35 people. Fucking hell. And that was between 1920 and 1930. So she killed 30. She's killing
she went
3.5 people a year. That's mad.
Yeah.
Just sat there,
Fair play.
chilling with the coffins. Do you think she ever opened them up?
Vera. What's she
Had
got
a
in her
little
hair? Loads of little butterflies or something.
I think they're just scrunchies.
Oh,
I don't know. Well, that's what you took from that.
No, I was just thinking, could she entice me in?
Butterflies.
They look like
Ted
a pair of your
Bundy.
socks around her hair.
She's actually joint 24th with Ted Bundy. There we go.
There you go.
That's interesting. That is very interesting.
Don't write her off.
That's it.
We've got Vera.
Fucking-
John Wayne Gacy.
Some of these, mate.
That guy,
Yeah,
that guy, he hasn't even got a name. He's just
Question mark. Vulgar
Vulgar.
maniac.
Yeah. What did he do?
Jesus, 32
oh,
people
no,
he
it's
killed.
sicko.
He killed 32 people in a year between 2011 2012.
Oh, shit.
Fuck. And they still, what, is he still out?
Unknown.
there?
I don't know.
Unknown.
Some suspect the killer has returned after disappearing. He's still out there.
So is that like a police, what do they call it?
Oh, look
Police
at
suppression.
mock-up thing.
Mock-up,
yeah.
yeah.
Mad. But yeah, there are some absolute characters on here, guys. So definitely
DeBrito
take
there.
a look.
Yeah.
Definitely take a look.
He looks like Nate Diaz. DeBrito.
That's it.
Fucking murdered Conor McGregor.
He did. and now he's on the streets.
Have a quick scroll down just to...
Yeah, let's have a little...
just quick one.
Look at
Quick
that
one to the
gangster,
end.
Fritz
Ooh.
Harmon. He looks like a proper 40s gangster. Ronald Dominique.
Mate, how old's he? Next to him, 46. He looks about 12.
Oh yeah.
He's killed 23 people. Between 1991 to 1992.
That's the thing, though. You never know.
Yeah.
Like, you look at all these people.
They're
some
right.
of
Youth
them-
gang leader who murdered taxi drivers and gay men. He was murdered by unknown assailants after being released from prison. Sorry, first of all, he's killed 23 people in a year in Ecuador. How has he been released from prison?
Prison system's a bit ropey.
Is
I
this
think-
top
mate,
50,
I
Ben?
think it is. Yeah, top. Yeah,
Yeah,
mad.
we're done.
But there we go. That's the list there, guys, that we wanted to finish on. So go check it out, smartadvocate.com. Type in 50 most prolific killers and you'll find it. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a great episode. I really enjoyed this one. Done some deep
class.
dives
Yeah, we went
Deep.
We went
into
deep.
some pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Lots of worms.
yeah, but guys, if you enjoyed this, do let us know in the comments and stuff. I'm sure we will cover more serial killers and more documentaries in the future. Let us know in the comments any specific ones that you want to see and hear us chat about. Yeah, guys, again, thank you. It's been quality, and we will see you very soon in another episode.
See you soon.
See you later,
See you
guys.
later.
Bye.